So, in our last class, we were discussing that no matter what, whether any person he is doing bhakti or not, but still, this struggle of putting sufferings away from him or her is always there. No one, no one wants sufferings. We discussed these examples that if anyone is suffering from fever, if he is getting sick, then he will go to a doctor so that he may recover. Or anyone who is, if any mosquito is biting, then he will, for the sake of his safety, he will put some cream or he will put some net to protect himself from those mosquitoes. So we are trying, anyone, any human being or any living being, he is trying to save himself from all the miseries. And it's not like that he was not doing it when he was not doing bhakti. People who are not practicing any devotional services, they also want protection from all these miseries. So we were discussing this thing only. Let's see. Let's see. Human life by nature is full of suffering, and lower life forms are even more miserable. We discussed this thing in detail, that how lower life forms are more miserable than human life. Human beings have facilities, they can eat peacefully, they can sleep peacefully, and they can do their devotional services peacefully. So one should understand that when God has gifted us with so many facilities, we can do lots of things in this human life. People are so much talented. You will say they have so much talent. But what if they turn this talent towards Krishna? Then what to say of their fortune? But it's just they have put their talents in wrong things. Why? Because these material things will not liberate them from these material sufferings. So yes, lower life forms are even more miserable. Any sane man with properly discriminating senses can understand that life in the material world is full of miseries, and there is no one, and that no one is free from the actions and reactions. You will see that even prime minister of any country, he also have to go from all these miseries. Mosquito never do any injustice with anyone. He will bite prime minister also. So no one is free from the actions and reactions of such miseries. This is not a pessimistic view of life, but is an actual fact which we should not blind to. The miseries of life are divided into three categories. We discussed these three categories already. Miseries arising from the body and mind. We get sick, fever, we are tense, depression. So these are the miseries as arising from the body and mind, which is called adhyatmik in Hindi. Adhyatmik klesh. Yes. Miseries arising from other living entities like biting of mosquito or coronavirus. So these all are the miseries arising from other living entities. Any person is shouting on other person. It is really a misery. You only tell me, do you want that anyone scold you? No one wants to be scolded with anyone. Everyone want love. They just want that other people may speak very nicely with them. No one want to be scolded. So this is also a misery when someone is shouting on you. It is very torturous. So this is called Adi Bhautik Kalesh. Adi Bhautik Kalesh in Hindi. And miseries arising due to natural calamities, which is Adi Daivik Kalesh. These miseries is the arrangements of demigods. They give all these natural calamities, earthquake, flood, all these things. In Hindi, it is known as Adi Daivik. So you will see in this word only Adi Daivik. There, this word is hidden. Dev. So given, it is given by demigods. Now see, these miseries are, we don't have any control on these miseries. If anyone is getting sick, then he will have to suffer that sickness. If someone is shouting on you or any mosquito is biting, then you will have to suffer. What one can do? They can only seek for temporary solutions. And just like these natural calamities, if earthquake will come, you can't do anything. You are so helpless. We are so helpless. So we have no control on these miseries. We can only seek for temporary solutions. A sane man must look to eliminate these miseries and thereby become happy in life. Eliminate these miseries for always. Temporary solutions we are doing from a very beginning only. But temporary means which is for a short period of time. After some day, these miseries will arise again. So a sane man will look for a permanent solution. That I don't want to suffer all these things for always. I just want to get rid of these sufferings for always. So a sane man will look to eliminate these miseries for always. He will seek for permanent solution. We are all trying to achieve peace and freedom from these miseries, at least unconsciously. Yes. And in the higher intellectual circles, there are attempts to get rid of these miseries by ingenious plans and designs. But the power that baffles all the plans and designs of even the most intelligent person is the power of Maya Devi or the illusory energy. See, it is same like this. Seeking for temporary solution is same like that. Suppose any mother is slapping her child. Why? Because he's showing his naughtiness. He's very naughty. So he is being slapped with her, with his mother. Her mother is slapping her. But instead of he's not thinking that why am I being slapped? He's just trying to save himself. That I don't want to be slapped by my mother. But he is not thinking that why my mother is slapping me. So he is doing a temporary solution. He's protecting himself by putting his hands or whatever cushion. He's just saving himself so that her mother may not slap him. But he's not thinking that why am I being slapped? He's not thinking that I might have done something rubbish thing. That's why my mother is slapping me. So same way, person is not any living being, especially human beings, because they have elevated consciousness. They are not thinking that I am being punished by material, this illusory energy of Lord Krishna, Maya Devi, I am being punished. But why? He's seeking for temporary solutions, but he's not thinking the permanent solution. That I am not serving Lord Krishna. I have turned my face from Krishna. That's why I am being punished by Maya Devi. And once he will understand this thing, he will start serving Krishna. And devotees can themselves practically experience this thing, that materially also sufferings, of course, it is the nature of this material world that sufferings will come. But you will find that it is less as compared to before. I myself can experience this thing. I often used to get sick. I used to get fever, etc., etc. Although I was following almost 80 to 100% sattvic lifestyle. I used to eat oil-free food, only boiled food, only fruits, juices, no feasting at all. But then also I used to get sick. But now, as I'm consuming only Krishna Prasadam, so even after, even after consuming feast, often I consume feast now, but then also I observe this thing. As compared to earlier, I'm not getting sick now. So see, when any person starts serving Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, he is under shelter of Krishna. He is protected. Just like you might have seen protected shield. Person is protected now. No one can disturb him. So same like this, when any person he starts serving Krishna, then Maya Devi does not disturb him much. She often take tests. She often take tests that whether this devotee is he pretending like he is serving Krishna, or he really want to serve Krishna. Those are just tests, which is for short period of time. Those are temporary. But you will see sufferings as compared to the, like if we talk about early time, it will be less. So this is very important thing. The law of karma, or the result of all actions and reactions in the material world, is controlled by this all-powerful illusory energy. The activities of these energy function according to principles and regulations, and they act consciously under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Yes. So one should understand this thing, that when that mother is slapping that child, so it's not like mother is the enemy of that child. She is slapping that child so that he may not show his naughtiness next time. He may become a nice, sincere boy, very obedient boy. So same way, human beings, living beings, they are being punished by the illusory energy of Lord Krishna. It's not like she is doing independently. She is doing it under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Why? So that one can understand that I am suffering so much here. And he may seek for the solutions, that I just want to get rid of these miseries. Enough now. I don't want to suffer more. So that's why he is being punished by the illusory energy of Lord Krishna, so that he may understand this thing, and he may surrender unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Everything is done by nature in full consciousness. Nothing is blind or accidental. Yes. See, anyone who is doing any action, the fruit of that action will come in a perfect way. Today only Prabhuji was understanding this point, that see the opulence of Lord Krishna, amazing opulence, that any being who is doing any kind of karma, he is performing any kind of karma, then he will be given fruit. He will get result, exact result according to whatever karma he has performed. It is really not an easy thing. Prabhuji was giving example that if you want to understand this thing, then you do counseling of someone. You will be tired in just some time. But see the amazing opulence of Krishna. Krishna is handling everything. So everything is done by the nature in full consciousness, in a perfect way. Nothing is blind or accidental. It is in perfect way, exactly. It is done how it is to be done, in a perfect way. No mistake at all. This material energy is also called Durga. If we split this word, Durga, Dur plus Ga, which means something which is hard to cross. See, which indicates that it is a force which is very difficult to surpass. If we understand this in Hindi, then Durga means जिसको पार करना बहुत कठिन है. It is not easy. It is very difficult to surpass. Why? Now see, this is very amazing thing. Maya Devi is the illusory energy of whom? Lord Krishna. But if anyone is trying to, he's thinking that I will independently, by myself, I will cross, I will just beat Durga Devi, I will win this race, then isn't this foolishness? Because Durga Devi, Maya Devi is the illusory energy of Lord Krishna. And without taking shelter of Lord Krishna, it is impossible to surpass. No one can surpass the laws of Durga by any amount of childish plans. What are the childish plans? That I will try to independently, by myself, I will try to surpass. I will win. If he's thinking like this, then it is his foolishness. No one can surpass the laws of Durga by any amount of childish plans. There is no... I'm sorry. I forgot to... Okay. Guess. So it is impossible that it is impossible to surpass this illusory energy of Lord Krishna without taking shelter of Lord Krishna. But you will see that if anyone takes the shelter of Lord Krishna, then it becomes very easy to, we can easily win then. Because whose hand is more strong? Maya Devi's hand or Krishna's hand, or Krishna's devotee hand? Krishna's hand is more powerful. Because Durga Devi, Maya Devi is just an energy of Lord Krishna, illusory energy of Lord Krishna. So this one should understand that it becomes very easy for the devotees of the Lord to surpass all the difficulties which comes, all the difficult plans which Maya Devi make to deviate devotees from this path. Why? Because they have taken the shelter of Krishna. Prabhuji explains this thing very nicely, that if you have decided that I will wake up early in the morning, then you won over Maya Devi, because Maya Devi was wanting you to sleep till late, but you won over Maya Devi by waking up early in the morning. Then you started chanting holy names of Lord. Instead of doing any rubbish thing, instead of going on a morning walk or whatever other material things, instead of giving priority to those things, instead of joining gym, you did something for Lord. You chanted holy names of Lord, which is so pleasing to Krishna. I told this thing that earlier I used to wake up at 3 a.m. Why? For the sake of doing yoga. I was giving priority to yoga. And Prabhuji also telling that there is a devotee. He used to wake up at 2:30 a.m. for the sake of selling cauliflowers at 2:30 a.m. So see, these are the how Maya Devi convince to living entities that you do these rubbish things. These are very important for you. Then you chose to come in classes. You chose to consume Krishna prasadam only, not other things like got. You're not consuming anything. You're consuming only Krishna prasadam. So you are actually winning. Every time when you do something for Krishna, you are winning. You won over Maya Devi. Why? Because you are taking shelter of Krishna. But anyone who is not taking shelter of Krishna, he is just thinking, I'll do it independently, I will handle matters independently by my own. Then those childish plans will always be failed. They will not get fulfilled. They will not be success. They will not be successful. To get rid of the sufferings of humanity is simultaneously a very difficult and also a very easy affair. This is what we discussed today in afternoon class. That this process of Krishna consciousness is very difficult, but at the same time, it is very easy also. It is easy for those who are accepting it as it is and following, not putting their logical or illogical mind in mid. But it is very difficult for them who are not understanding that this bhakti yoga is topmost. It is very potent, and they are becoming explorers. They just want to explore other things. So same way, to get rid of the sufferings of humanity means point is same only. It is simultaneously a very difficult and also very easy affair. As long as the conditioned souls who are themselves bound up by the laws of nature manufacture plans to get rid of the three miseries, there will be no solution. Clear? If we are trying to make plans by our own, then there will be no solution. There will be only disappointment. Why? Because we are bound up by the laws of nature. What are the laws of nature? There are three laws of nature: mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. We are bound up by these. Bound means bound. Just like you will see, if any person he is bound up with rope, now he can't move by himself. He is in helpless state. So same way we are bound up by the laws of nature. So we are in helpless state. But as soon as we start serving Lord Krishna, we get free from these laws of nature. At least at that time when we are serving Krishna. So yes, if anyone will try to do it independently, then there will be no solution. The only effective solutions are those mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. And we have to adopt them in our practical lives for our own benefit. So, anyone who will follow the instruction of Lord Krishna, what are the instructions of Krishna? Man mana madhva bhakto madhya jimam namaskuru. You come in my shelter, you take my shelter, you pay obeisances to me, you become my devotee. So anyone who will follow instructions of Lord Krishna, then it will become easy for him. We have to adopt them in our practical lives for our own benefit. Only then only we can be benefited. The three miseries of material nature are not found in the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. As mentioned before, he is eternally joyful, and his transcendental pastimes are not different from him. Because he is the absolute truth. His name, fame, form, qualities, and pastimes are identical with him. And that's why, because these pastimes are not different from Krishna, the pastimes, the holy names, 𝗰𝗵 𝗵𝗵, these are not different from Krishna. So we get direct association of Lord Krishna when we follow any of these processes. When we hear Krishna Katha, when we chant holy names of Lord, we get direct association of Lord Krishna. And at least that time we are free from the attacks of Maya Devi. Do you know one cannot die when he is performing any of these devotional services? Maya cannot come at that time. Maya cannot attack at that time. She just wait. Oh, he is chanting holy names. Oh, he is attending classes. Let him come. Then I will tell him. Then I will show him. So she just waits. But she never dare to come at that time. We are free from the attacks of Maya at that time. And also Maya Devi cannot enter in spiritual world also. Her entrance is prohibited in spiritual world. She can only stay here in this material world. His pastimes therefore cannot be equated with the sufferings of humanity as the so-called Swamis condense. Yes, all these Mayavadis, Chayavadis, Kayavadis, they just say that Krishna is Maya, and all the pastimes of Krishna is also Maya. But one should understand these things, that pastimes or whatever things of Krishna, they cannot be equated because they cannot be equated by the conditioned souls. Because we are bounded by the nature of, we are bounded with the laws of nature. So any these so-called Swamis who try to pretend like these, that we are all intelligent, we know everything, that's why we are announcing that all the pastimes of Krishna or Krishna himself is Maya, they are just, that is foolishness. See, the shloka that Prabhuji is discussing in class, what Lord Krishna himself is telling to Arjuna, that my qualities, my own qualities are eternal, and it is impossible for anyone to understand them completely. It is not possible for Krishna himself. Why? Because eternal means infinite, infinite means which is unlimited. So, how one can equate or estimate or calculate anything which is infinite or unlimited? It is not possible. So that's why now see, if Krishna himself is telling this thing that it is impossible that you understand anything, you cannot understand anything which is infinite. So how these so-called Swamis can equate pastimes of Krishna? So anyone who is intelligent, he can easily understand this thing. The pastimes of the Supreme Lord are transcendental to the actual miseries and sufferings of human beings. We have material senses which are incomplete. We discussed we have 4 defects. Four defects are there. So, how can we understand Supreme Lord completely? It is just next to impossible. So, any so-called Swamis who are announcing things like this is all rubbish. This is all foolishness. All right. Rest of the part we will continue in our next discussion. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol.